discussion I wanted to have with the board concerning budgets and budget hearings. They, as you know, generally, when we have a new commissioner coming into the board, the budget hearings are held after January, basically the end of January, middle to the end of January, starting then, so that the new commissioner has an opportunity to listen to them and act on that final budget. I'm suggesting this year that we be more aggressive in getting into these budget hearings and doing budgets, that we hold budget hearings starting approximately the second week after the election, maybe a little later than that. It may have to be in the first week of December, depending on how fast we can get the information together. In fact, probably the first week of December would be better, holding the budget hearings in the first and second week of December, so that the Board of Commissioners, as it is constituted, and inviting all new office holders to it, as well as current office holders, so that we can more quickly get into the final budgeting cycle after the first of the year. What we do now basically is pass a temporary toward the end of November, beginning of December, for the first quarter of the year. We would start budget hearings in the second to third week of January. We would end up getting the final budget done somewhere in March, so that almost a full quarter of the year is gone before we're done. I'm hoping in suggesting this scenario of having the earlier budget hearings and inviting anybody new who might be new to come into them, sit in them too, that we can get on top of that budget quickly in January and maybe be done by the, and not maybe, be done by the end of January. No later than, say, the first week of February, so that all of the office holders have their final budget in hand earlier in the year. They will have addressed the things they have to address in order to cut their budgets for next year, which, as you know, we are currently suggesting at the rate of 16%. They can more aggressively pursue any furloughs or layoffs or whatever other types of cuts they're having early in the year. The board itself will not be criticized and saying, well, you know, a quarter of the year is over and you're finally giving us our final budget. We know that we're requesting all office holders to cut 16% from their appropriation of this year. They should be able to get on top of that budget pretty quickly. We, of course, from our standpoint, have to get the budget documents from the auditor and the IT department, really, the auditor's IT department, to send out. That's going to take, Rick, till the end of November or so, right? Oh no, I have to get the documents out.
Yeah, the documents will be out hopefully the first week of October.
Right, but to get them back in, to give them enough time to get them back in, we want to be
so
the hearings, middle of November or so.
For them to return their documents.
And then, so the hearings around the 1st of December, starting around the 1st of December. That's my suggestion to the board. This takes no action. I just wanted everybody to be able to talk about it and see what you think about it.
This year, just one comment, we were also looking to make it a requirement that all departments
Come to the budget hearings. Yes.
Where in the last couple of years, we were just saying that if you had a reason to come and present a hearing or present your case, then you could have a hearing. But this year, I think it's important that we require all departments to.
And here's my question. Let me just ask a question real quick. I mean, it all sounds good in general principle. But what do you do if you legitimately have a new auditor or a new treasurer and they're not prepared and really don't know enough about the office to present their budget? And how does that work?
Well, the current auditor and the current treasurer will have to present it. The new ones can be in on it and sit here in on it, but the point is, frankly, it's 16% less than they got this year. It's not a matter of nuance in this. This is not budgeting with scalpel, it's budgeting with butcher knife. And
Both the auditor and the treasurer actually don't take office in January either.
That's true, they
It'll be
don't.
beyond end of the year.
That's right, March and September.
So the current ones are going to have to create the
Well,
budget anyway.
the new treasurer will, of course, when
That's true.
the vote is certified by the Board of Elections, the new treasurer, whoever that might be, takes
true.
office.
The auditor.
But nevertheless, the reason too is that we need to get past the first of the year. I need to add that, is that then we'll have a truer picture of the carryover, and the carryover is the key to the percentage. I mean, if some miracle occurred and we would have such a great carryover because people didn't spend all the money this year, we'd have a wonderful carryover into next year. Maybe the net cut would be, making this up, folks, just for the sake of argument, 13%. Well, the Board of Commissioners in January, they can budget based on the budget hearings. They would have that 3% then to decide to direct in whatever way you might direct. But the budgets themselves, we're asking for 16% cuts.
Well, through my talks, meeting with all the other department heads, and preparing them for the 16% that we foresee, they are right in line with that. I mean, it's very painful, and they are going through the exercise they need to get to that number, representing 16%. So, any positive news that would then negate that would be welcome, because as we have said many times, and we'll continue to say, 2011 is going to be bad, but 2012 is going to be even worse. And the more conversation that we can have, wrapping ourselves around and understanding the budgets within the different departments, the better we are going to be preparing ourselves to make those decisions that will affect many, many people.
On, as the board knows, we originally projected, actually we did, the Budget Commission originally projected an 11% drop, but then we got the approximately $3 million theft from the Treasurer's Office added onto it, which now causes that 16%. Best prediction that the Budget Commission and the Budget Commission can give in adding the $3 million to it is 16%. And you're right, Commissioner, if it's 15%, that's a great thing.
That's great, absolutely.
All right. Does it sound
Yes.
feasible?